In this video, we're going to go over how to set up your charts in ThinkorSwim, how to execute orders on the platform, and how to set up scanners to find stocks to trade. I've been using ThinkorSwim every single day for over 7 years now, and since it has moved to the Charles Schwab broker, I figure why not make a quick tutorial video to help out any new users, and we're going to do our best to make it a quick video because I know you all don't want to watch an hour-long tutorial. So if you just hit the like button for me, we'll jump right into the content. Chart appearance is completely subjective. You make the chart look how you want it to look, right? But we're going to go over in this video how I set up my charts so that you can learn how to change the charts. And then we're going to go over some chart functionality, such as how to switch time frames, how to make drawings, how to put studies on, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to click on this charts tab here, and it is going to load, well, nothing at first, I guess. If I type in a symbol here, this is where you change what symbol you're looking at. If I type in SPY, this being the S&P 500 ETF, you now have a chart on your screen. I'm going to come into the cog. This is where you change your chart settings. And once again, I'm going to change and make my chart look how I like it to change. Please come in and mess with these settings yourself. This is all very low risk stuff. Nothing you click in here is really going to impact your portfolio or anything like that. So feel free to come in and mess with this stuff. And then if you mess it up too much and hate it, hit reset to chart default and try again, right? But I'm going to set mine up. I like to see the trades I take. I'm going to hit show trades. I don't like to have my furthest right bar kind of ramming into the wall like that. So I'm going to give a 5-bar extension to the right. If I hit apply, you'll see that. I don't like really any of these other excess grid lines on my chart. So I'm going to begin getting rid of those. If I then go to appearance, I hate open green bars. I don't know why that's the default setting. I think you're a psychopath if you trade like this. So like a normal human being, I'm going to fill my up bars green, and I'm also going to change my volume from just being this blue to the same color as the symbol ticks. And as I said, I don't really like the grid in the background of my charts, so I'm going to turn that off here also within appearance. And that's my chart. That's how I set up my charts. Once again, feel free to come in and change whatever you would like to change. It's all very low risk. Go into your cogs on your charts, play around with it, see what fits the best for you, right? So next, let's talk about time frames. Right now, we are on the daily chart represented by this D in your top toolbar on your chart here. That means that each one of these bars is representing one day. If I click on this, you will see we are on the 1Y:1D. That means we are looking at, once again, 1D means that each bar represents one day. 1Y means that we are looking at the entire year. The entire chart is from the last 12 months, right? And you have some other favorite time frames on here. As you can guess, I'm not going to insult your intelligence too much. 1M is you're looking at each bar is a 1 minute. And the 1D means that you're looking just over the last 24 hours, right? And that continues all the way down here. Now, these are just your favorites. If you would like to set your own favorites, come into the time frame tab here, and then you can even choose tick bars, range bars. There's all kinds of fun stuff you can, once again, come in and mess around with yourself here. But let's just say, for example's sake, I want to look at the 30-day 1 minute instead of the 1 day 1 minute. I want to see a longer time back so I can do further analysis against. I'll change that, and then I'll hit this star here in the bottom as well. So now if I hit OK, we are now looking at, once again, each one of these bars represents 1 minute, but we get the full picture of the last 30 days on the chart now, right? And if we come back into our time frames, you should see, well, let me switch to a different one. You should see that 30-day 1 minute now sitting there. Now, it's ugly at the bottom. I would hit customize list, and I would drag this to the top, and then I would get rid of this other 1 minute. That's how I would do it. Once again, fully subjective. Set it up how you would like. So let's jump back to the daily just for posterity stakes, and I'm going to show you guys how to draw on your chart. So this is the drawings tab within your toolbar on top of your chart here. If you open this and you hover over drawing tools, there is all kinds of fun stuff you can mess around with here, right? You got your trend lines, your price levels, your Fibonacci retracements, your this, that, your Fibonacci spirals, arcs, pitchforks, whatever crazy technical analysis you get up to, that's up to you. I'm going to show you trend lines and price level today. So let's start with trend lines. If I am now to left click here, I immediately just get this drag option, so I can drag. And let me point to this too. I'm going to point like you guys can see what I'm pointing to. But do you notice there at the bottom of my trend line, that box that's appearing? This is very useful. I actually use this tool relatively often. It's showing you a good information there. It's showing you over the last 90 days. You can see how many calendar days this has been across. 62 bars. That means how many trading days has it been across. Up 18.88%, up 77.41 points. And there's even a slope angle. I've actually never noticed that slope angle at the bottom. That's kind of lit. I'm not sure what you would use that for. Once again, crazy technical analyst out there. But this allows you to, hey, I'm looking at this chart. You know, how much has SPY gone up during this run? Of course, it's going to be rough. I'm not going to get the exact bottom and the exact top, but roughly 19.5% SPY has made on this. I use that quite often. But anyway, let's get our trend line drawn. So let's say this is not going to be a great trend line, but it's just example's sake. Let's say I draw it out this way, right? If I right click on this line and I go to edit properties, your line might actually look different. I think this actually saved my settings from the last time I made a tutorial video, even on my simulated account that I'm logged into right now. I think it saved my settings. I believe your line is going to be red and it's going to have a width of 1. But what you can do, say I want this line to be violet or lilac, whatever color that is. I want it to be dotted and I want it to have a width of 4. You can do that, and when you do it, it looks like this now. And if I come back in, you can save this as the default. So now the next time, once again, it's still selected. You can tell here which drawing is selected. The next time I draw a trend line, it will look like that. So that's how you sort of set that up. Now, drawing tools, price level. This one's really easy. You can simply double click, and wherever you double click, it's going to draw that price level. And once again, you would have to come in. Once again, maybe I want this to be the same. I want it to be the purple, the lilac dashed 4 width. Save that as the default, hit OK. That's going to be that way. Now, any line I draw after that is going to be that way. Let me show you one more thing because this chart's getting ugly. If I right click on any drawing and then I go to clear drawing set and hit yes, it'll get rid of everything. You have to do that quite often too while you're doing your analysis. Let me draw another line so that I can bring up the properties because I believe there is a way to, yes. On my price level lines, I like to turn off the left extension. And once again, I would save this as the default. So now wherever I click to draw the line will start there rather than going all the way back, right? Because if I'm doing a sort of analysis and I go, look at this bottom here, you know, I want to draw from this bottom to see the way the price reacts around it. I don't care if it necessarily extends left. Once again, completely subjective. Change that however you want to. One more thing I will teach you about drawings, and it's a fun shortcut. I'm going to click in. I'm going to click in on the wheel on my mouse, right? I'm going to press it in, and that will immediately bring up your drawing list as well. So you don't have to come up here and click on this and go to drawing tools. Just a fun shortcut. Say I want to go back to trend lines. Say I want to go to price lines. You can easily change it in that way. All right, so once again, do you guys remember how to clear your drawing set? Right click, clear drawing set, yes. Now let's jump into the studies here on your toolbar. If I open this studies and I hit edit studies, this is gonna bring up this modal, and there is all kinds of studies in here, indicators in here out of the box that you can add to your chart. Say you want to look at RSI, you want to look at a simple moving average, and well, let's add 2 simple moving averages. And you want to look at, I don't know, MACD is another really common one. If I go ahead and hit apply, first off, you'll see the RSI and the MACD. These are lower studies. You see they jump into this lower section, whereas the simple moving averages jump into the price section. This is showing you where on the chart the study is going to go, and you can actually drag them around. I've actually never done this before. Can you put... Yeah, you can. I don't know exactly why you would do this, but you can put a simple moving average down in the lower if you would like to. Can you put the RSI? This is actually kind of, and you can put the RSI over the price if you wanted to. Sorry, I'm sort of messing around myself right now, but you will notice I tried to put on 2 simple moving averages, right? But you may or may not be able to tell from the way this is laid out. These are the parameters of the function, and the length is set to 9 on both of them. So they're both the same moving average right now, which is not helpful. So I'm going to click on the cog of the study and say I want to look at the 9 and the 20. Sick. We now have 2 different simple moving averages, a 9 length and a 20 length, but how do I tell which one is which? If I come back into my 20 length simple moving average, I can click on this color here, I can change the color to something else, and when I hit apply, you will now have the difference between the 9 and the 20. Now there is thousands and thousands of out-of-the-box studies in here. There's all kinds of different out-of-the-box strategies you can look at, which if I put one of these on the chart, you may or may not see. I don't know if I picked one that actually takes trades. Hold on one second. Let me pick one that maybe actually takes a trade. Bollinger Band, stop, first hour breakout. That's going to be an intraday trade strategy, but let's see if it works anyway. There. You can see now when you have strategies on the chart, they are simulating trades for you, and there's all kinds of those out of the box you can mess with. Not to mention that you can create your own. And if you're new to my channel, what I do on this channel is I create custom studies and custom strategies within ThinkorSwim. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're interested in that. Obviously, we're not going to jump too deep. I'm not going to start coding ThinkScript on a tutorial video here for you guys. But if that interests you, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because once again, it's what we do here. Anyway, that's how you add studies to your chart. This is looking a little bit ridiculous, so I'm going to go to remove all studies and get back to our sort of normal default chart so we can jump into the next part of the tutorial here. All right, so you've got your chart looking the way you want to, and you understand everything you need to know about chart functionality. Changing time frames, adding drawings, adding studies. You will have everything now prepared to set up whatever trading strategy you want. Great, Trey. How do I actually take trades? Let's get into the meat and bones of this tutorial, right? Well, I'm going to show you what I believe to be the best tool provided by the ThinkorSwim platform, and that is its active trader tool. So you may have already noticed over here on the right bar, there is different selections, and each one of these is a different modal you can turn on. So if I just quickly click through, you can turn on the time and sales, which actually in a simulated account won't show anything, but in your real account, you would see time and sales here. You can turn on live news if you want to see what the news on a ticker is. You can turn on your level 2 if you want to look at level 2. All kinds of different stuff you can turn on here. But for right now, let's focus on the active trader window. All of this, of course, everything within ThinkorSwim is pretty draggable. So if you just noticed, I just changed the size of this here. But yeah, let's jump into the cog. The cog on the active trader window, and let's talk about what is in here, because your default buttons, buy market, sell market, cancel, reverse, and flatten, which are useful, great, but Trey, I don't use market orders. I use limit orders. There's a lot of traders. A lot of you guys are probably low float scalpers. That's how a lot of traders, especially retail traders, like to trade, to try to kind of avoid the whales and the money funds and all that kind of stuff. So if you're doing that, you probably don't want to be using market orders. So what you would do, you would double click on these and they'll get rid of them. Now, if I hit OK, you will see they are gone. If I come back in, you will see a buy ask. I just double clicked. Buy bid. If I double click that, it should also move over there. And then I'm going to scroll down to sell ask and sell bid. So now we have a limit placed on there. If I hit OK, and then if I hit this expand, you will see them down there, because what it did was it added, of course, you can see to the second line. All you have to do, just grab and drag. Just grab and drag these up, and sort of annoyingly, it doesn't scroll during the drag. But if I just drag all these now to the top above the cancel, if I hit OK, you will now see them laid out the way you want. If you want to buy the ask, buy the bid, sell the ask, sell the bid, it's all set up like that. And of course, once again, subjective. There's all kinds of other buttons in here that you can play around with if you want to add them, if you want to remove them, if you want to drag them. Set this up the way you want to, right? it's my job to just show you how the functionality works. So we now have our button set up and we are in our demo account. So let me note this first. In a demo account, we are 15 minutes behind right now. So when I hit this buy button, it's probably not actually going to fill at this price, but let me just hit the buy button and you will notice you get a confirmation window pop up. Great. Sure. I want to buy at 487.16. Let's go ahead and send it. Once again, I don't know if I'm actually going to get filled at this price. Actually, let's do this. This can be useful too. I'm not getting filled right now because the price isn't actually trading here. Weirdly enough, in a demo account, you're like 15 minutes behind, but the order actually executes at where the price is in real time. It's a weird thing, but the price must not be here right now, so I'm not actually getting filled. What I can do, so you now see the order sitting out on the chart, right? 150 share limit order sitting here. I can grab this and I can drag it to wherever I want it to go. So let's just go ahead and throw it up high somewhere, and it's going to give us a reconfirmation box down here. Hit send. Hopefully it now fills us. This should work. It's a little wonky because we're dealing in a simulated account, so it's a little wonky. Oh, there it goes. It just took a second. So it filled us at 487.35. That must be where the current price of SPY is as I make this, right? So that's great. Ask me why it's showing my show order all the way up there. Trust me, this isn't so hard in a real account. Simulated trading, it's kind of wonky in ThinkorSwim. Paper trading's a little bit wonky in ThinkorSwim. It won't be this weird in a real account, I promise. But I'm just showing you right now the functionality. So we are in. Great. Now, it shows us our order here. We can once again, as I talked about, this can all be dragged and resized. So if I drag this out so that I can see the price, it's showing us our average price. It's showing us the trade ladder, the bids versus the asks at the current price. It's showing us our P&L open. It's showing us our P&L on the day. So if I go ahead and sell this is once again going to be hard because it's going to try to sell. I hit sell the bid, hit send. Where is the bid at right now? Oh, okay, fine. Oh, we actually made money somehow. Don't ask me how. But we just got out of that order and we made $16. That is now our P&L on the day. What I'm trying to show there is the difference between PL open and PL day. PL open is, of course, your current trade profit or loss. Your PL day is your total profit or loss plus or minus the PL of the current trade, right? So one more thing I want to show you, or there's probably a couple more things I want to show you, but the next thing I want to show you is quantity change first, I guess, not to insult your intelligence too much, but of course this QTY stands for quantity, and it's how you set how many shares you would like to buy or sell. The next thing down I want to go to is auto send. If I check this, and then first things first, let me actually go back in and add this. Let me add my buy market and sell market buttons back, just so I can more easily showcase this. They can be down at the bottom. That's fine. It's a little ugly, but that's fine. So now if I hit, I have checked my auto send box, and if I hit buy market, it's going to immediately put the order through. 500 is apparently too many. I don't have that much money in this account, is telling me. If I hit buy market, you see how it didn't pop up that confirmation window, and see how I am now in at 487.23, and you can see that here's a good example of showing you this as well. Our P&L open is up $1, down $1. It's fluctuating around, and our P&L day are still up, whatever it was from the previous trade. So now if I come in and hit sell market, it is once again going to just immediately get out without popping up that confirmation window. Once again, don't ask me why this is happening. This is supposed to be your show trades. It's just not properly working right now. Let's just turn off show trades to get rid of them. Something about the simulated trading is breaking that, but that won't normally happen, I promise. Let me do one more thing in this, and then I promise we'll move on. I'm trying to not make this video too long, but if you can't tell, there is a shed load to talk about with ThinkorSwim. There's all kinds of functionality within this app. So if I look up TIF, and I double click this so that it adds, this is your time and force. Set today right now, meaning that your order that you place will remain open until the close of day. Good till canceled, GTC, means that your order will remain open until you either cancel it or it fills. So if you want to place an order, say if SPY dips to 475, I want to buy it. But, you don't want it to close at the end of the day because that's not, barring Black Swan event, that's not going to happen today, right? So you would set a GTC and you would set it at 475. And let me actually show you a couple of different ways you can do that. One, right click, hit buy, and it sets it out there. Your buy order is now there. Perfect. Two, you can select on the active trade window itself. 475 is pretty far away, so I'm going to use this zoom out button so I can get it like this, and then I'm going to scroll down to 475, call it 474.98. And if I hit in this box here where it says, I believe, bid size, yes, it says bid size. If I click within that box at 474.99, it'll immediately place that order there as well. So a couple of different order types. Also, your EXT stands for extended. If you have noticed, we are in the 5-minute chart now, so we're in an intraday chart. This sort of lighter gray area here represents pre-market and after hours. Market open is from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, but the markets are actually trading from 4 a.m. till 8 p.m. The point before 9:30 is called pre-market. The point after 4:30 in the afternoon is called after hours, and you can trade those within ThinkorSwim. ThinkorSwim pre-market opens at 7 a.m., so you can't start trading at 4 a.m., but you can start at 7 a.m., and then you can trade all the way until 8 p.m. as well. But if you want to place trades during that time frame, you have to be on the EXT time and force. And just for a little added tip here, you can't use market orders. There's no market orders in after hours trading, right? So you have to use these limit orders. Just one more tip there for you. All right, I swear I keep cutting because I'm ready to move on to the next thing because I don't want this video to be too long. But every time I do that, I think of one more thing I can help you guys with. Now, there is a ton of information and things to learn about this platform. I actually have already made a lot of content about this platform. There's a playlist on my channel called ThinkorSwim Tutorials, so check that out if you want to learn a lot more. But let's talk about this order template real quick. I promise one last thing with order execution before we move on. But this order template, so it's right now set to single. It is set to single by default, and that, of course, is just the normal way you think about orders. Once again, if I hit buy market, it's going to buy 100 shares. Maybe simulated trading where you buy it. There, it took a second, but it's going to buy 100 shares. If I hit sell market, it's going to sell 100 shares. That's what a single template does. It's sort of your normal way of thinking about how you would execute trades, right? If I go down, OCO stands for one cancels the other. And the reason you would use this, say you're trading a really volatile stock. Say you're trading a stock that has like a 3-point range and it's moving really large on the day. Say it's trading between 10 and 13, let's call it. You can put an OCO order template out and you can put a buy at 10 to buy off support, or a buy at 1301 if it breaks resistance. So you can set that up with an OCO order, and if it breaks the resistance, then it would immediately cancel your buy that you have at support, right? That's what an OCO order does. And then these TRG with brackets, if I go ahead and open this up, and let's scroll this out a little bit, this is going to be how you can set a stop loss and a profit target on a stock, right? So I currently have, of course, 100 quantity typed in, which is fine. And this is currently set to a 1 point move up or down. You can change this. If you click on this, it's now ticks. If you click on this, it's now percent. So if you want to set it to percent instead, let's use 1 point up or down. And I believe if I hit buy market now, yep. So I am now in 100 shares at 487.31. I have a profit take at 488.31. I have a stop loss at 486.31. And once again, as I showed earlier, kind of the beauty of ThinkorSwim, you can move these. Say I want to take profit at high a day and I want to stop if it breaks this low here. All I would have to do is drag that. And now on the shares that you have open, you can have both a stop loss and a profit take, which you cannot do when you're on the single template. If I come up here, say, oh, it's fine, whatever, I'm happy enough. If I hit this flatten button, what flatten does is it closes all open orders and it market exits any position. So it just closed all those orders and it got me the heck out of that position. That's what that button does. All right. I think we've talked about trade execution enough. let's jump into scanners. I'm sure you've already noticed that bar on the, I'm pointing the wrong way, that bar on the left side of your screen over there. And you may have already noticed that there is a watch list set up on it. Now, all of this is collapsible. Say you want to get rid of everything else. Say you want to just delete these things. You don't want them to be on. I delete most of these. I just have a couple of watch lists turned on over here. So if I delete all these and then I hit plus, you guys can't see it, but I promise you there's a plus down here in the bottom left, and you hit watch list, you can add a couple of different watch lists over here to the left, right? Well, these watch lists are selectable, and right now they are just the ones set up. I actually do have a couple in here for some reason, but right now they are just what you're going to see set up to the public available ones. So all ETFs you can look at, and you're going to be able to see from this left cog all the ETFs, I guess. And then, once again, just like most other modals that we've clicked on in ThinkorSwim, there is a cog here that you can click on, customize, and just like you would over here, if you double click, you can add or remove columns. You can drag where the columns appear. Now percent change is showing here. You can resize this. All of that is very cool. Also, I want to point to this. Do you see how this symbol link is colored to yellow? If I look down here, it might be a little bit more apparent. This one is currently not set to anything. If I set my symbol link, which is where this one is on this chart, if I set this link to yellow, whatever I click from this watch list will automatically be put onto this chart. I don't know what the hell these stocks are, random ETFs, but that's a very cool functionality as well. Now, let's talk about building your own scanner, not just the ones that are currently public, right? Let's talk about building your own scanner. Coming into the scan tab here, I think you might see that immediately. Let's assume you see nothing when you come into the scan tab. I'm going to hit add filter, and I'm going to add a stock filter. I'm going to click this drop down, and there's going to be all kinds of things you can choose from. Let's just build one together. Once again, this is going to be subjective. Once again, I have multiple scanner videos on my channel. If you want to learn about some ThinkorSwim scanners, check out the channel. But I'm going to add a volume. I need to see a minimum of 100,000 shares traded on any stocks that I want to see. I'm going to add another scanner, another stock scanner. We're going to use last. I'm going to need to see a minimum of $1. I don't want to trade penny stocks, and a maximum of $20. Say I don't want to trade stocks over $20. I'm going to add one more filter, but instead of stock, it's going to be study. If I add, I can't use study filters allow scans. Crap. You can't use study filters in simulated trading, I guess, which is a little wonky. But what studies, let me talk about it. What study filters are going to do, it's essentially going to bring up this same modal, right? It's going to allow you to choose which study you want to compare against, right? So you will load up the study. You know what? Screw it. Let's jump into my real ThinkorSwim account and let me show you study filters. All right, so you will notice now that sort of yellow border around the application is gone. It doesn't say simulated trading up here in the top left. This is my real ThinkorSwim account. This is the account that I trade on every single day, right? And I believe I have set our study back up the same way we had it on the other accounts. Now, add filter, study, of course it's going to let me do it here. If I click on this pencil, this is going to be the easiest way that you can come in and change your study filter. Earlier on the tutorial, we added a 9 and a 20 simple moving average. Let's say for our sake of continuation here that we want to take trades on moving average crossovers when the 9 moving average is above the 20 moving average. So I'm going to come into my condition here. I'm going to click this drop down. I'm going to collect study. And from here, select study, And from here, you can type in search. So the simple moving average with a 9 length. And I'm going to choose, this is your condition, right? All kinds of conditions you can choose from. I'm going to choose is greater than on this drop down, select study, look up simple moving average, double click, and then I'm going to highlight and replace this length with 20, right? So your simple moving average length 9 is greater than your simple moving average length 20. Hit continue. From here, hit OK. It's now set up. Now if I scan, we should only see stocks that have a minimum of 100,000 shares traded, a minimum price of $1, a maximum price of $20, and the 9 SMA is greater than the 20 SMA. One thing I do on almost all of my scans, I do have some custom columns that I use for some other stuff here, but on all of my general scans, I sort from top down by volume. And to do that, you just click on the sort of header here, right? So American Airlines being the top one down. First things first, actually, we need to save this study. So if you click on the middle hamburger menu here, it's a little confusing with three hamburger menus. But if I click on the middle one, save scan query, we're going to call it subscribe to the channel. It's just a name I thought up. I no context, but subscribe to the channel is the name of the scanner. Now, we talked about this left screen over here. If I choose this and I go to personal, I have all kinds of scanners that I have made, so sorry, but you're going to see subscribe to the channel here. I'm going to select that. Let's drag this over a little so that I can see the color link. If I go to my charts, wow, I've got all kinds of stuff turned on. Sorry, let's just remove all these studies. Working on, you remember earlier when I was talking about custom codes and custom studies and custom strategies? That's the stuff I work on. But this chart is already set up. So my link is set to 9 lilac on my chart. My link is set to 9 lilac on my scanner. If I click on American Airlines, it will immediately load it in. We can see, obviously, this price is $15. That fits our price parameter. The current volume is 31.9 million. That meets our volume parameter. And if we go ahead and turn on 2 simple moving averages, just as we did earlier, double click, COG 20, change color, we should see that the 9 simple moving average has just crossed above the 20 simple moving average, thus fitting all our parameters. So that's how you create a scanner. Obviously, very simple scanner. How you create a scanner, how you put it in this left pane, and how you link it directly to the chart for easy click access. I am a huge believer that time is your most valuable currency, and I have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours on those custom studies and strategies and watch list that we have been talking about a little bit on this video that you just got to see a little bit of. And I figured, why not make that available to everybody so that you can save yourself the hundreds of hours that I've already put in. So if you navigate over to daytradingstrategies.net, link's going to be in the top of the description. You're going to get access to all of my codes for one price, and I promise you it's cheaper than you think it is. So navigate over to the website, hit sign up. We'll see you over there. I figure, why don't we wrap up the video with what often my chart actually looks like, right? So that you can see sort of some of the power and some more of what we didn't even get a chance to cover in this now already 31-minute video. Tons and tons of more to learn about this application, but in this one quick video, you got everything you need to get started. So hopefully you found value in it. If you did, please hit the like button. It actually does help. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. You're obviously learning about the ThinkorSwim platform, and the ThinkorSwim platform is what I have mastered, and it's what we talk about on this channel. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more free content. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of this video, but I'm going to send you all to a video that is focused entirely on that active trader window if you want to learn more specifics about that.
Trading stocks. He talks about trading stocks. It's important for you Americans and other international individuals to learn about stocks.